What's good, family? Hope you are operating on a high frequency and you are looking after yourself currently with what's going on in the world. There is a lot of spiritual warfare, and if you're a spiritual person and can see what's going on spiritually in the world, you're going to see the world totally different. So the world basically wants you to see everything from a physical standpoint. So I'm going to highlight in this video just a couple things that's going on and how you can actually protect yourself in times like these, because your energy is very, very valuable, and you have to realize that it's nothing to do with money, it's nothing to do with power, it's literally got to do with just taking your soul's energy. That's the whole point in this realm, that's the whole point in this world, and you have to realize that Earth is a school. It's here for your spiritual self to grow and develop, and if you don't learn the lessons that you're not meant to learn here on Earth, you're coming back. So you have to spiritually learn, you have to spiritually grow. That's what we're all here for at the end of the day. So if you're working a job, if you're in school, if you're in college and you're dealing with certain things, or maybe just in life in general, you're dealing with certain things, you have to realize that your mind is powerful enough that you can create your reality, and whatever frequency you're operating on is what's going to happen in your reality. So things in your life or things from the system are going to be set up in a way to get in the way of what you want to do, or get in the way of you reaching your higher frequency or your higher self. Now, I'm not saying believe this, I'm not saying believe the world is against you, I'm not saying believe that the whole system is against you, even though it is. You don't want to focus on this, because that's going to put you on a low frequency. You want to more so focus on spiritually growing. You want to be more so focused on your spiritual and physical habits. So when you wake up every single day, you're your priority. Because if you're your priority and you're the best version of yourself, you can help all the people around you. So first, you come first at all times you come first. Your habits during the day. When you wake up in the morning, what are you doing in the morning? What are you eating? Are you eating sugar? Are you eating processed food? Or are you going to eat something that's going to nourish your body? That's going to give your body natural energy? What information are you listening to during the day? Are you listening to information that when it's applied to your life, it's powerful? Or are you just listening to the information in school and your job that really has no effect on your life? Like, in your job, it might be effective, okay. In school, it might be effective for the tests, but is it effective for you as a human being? And also, use meditation to gain information. Our higher selves, our higher consciousness knows everything. Us in human form don't know everything. Us in human form are very precious. We're conditioned. That's why the system is set up in this way. It's set up in a way to condition us. But you have to remember that your soul has been through a lot. So your soul has a lot of information. That's why when you meditate, you can gain information. That's from your higher self. That's from your soul. And you are your soul. You're just your soul in a physical human form. That's that. So the physical human form sense of things, that's why if you see everything through a physical standpoint in the world, you're not going to see it for how it actually is. But if you're living your life through a spiritual standpoint, you're going to see everything for how it actually is. So that movie that your parents might be watching on TV, that might be just a movie to them, but you can see the agenda that's being pushed. You can see what happened with the actors with that movie. You know the truth about what's going on with Disney and all the likes of that stuff. Say with the music industry, you may think it's just a song that blew up, but you know what that artist has been up to. You've heard the things about what's going on with them artists and all the rappers and all that stuff nowadays. You may be thinking someone's excited to send their child to school, but you know the truth about the education system and how it indoctrinates the mind of children and the likes of that stuff. So when you're spiritual, you're going to see the world from a total different sense. You're going to see the world from a total different point of view. And you have to realize that the majority of people aren't spiritual. Even if they're religious, it does not mean they're spiritual. You have to realize that religion is a spiritual guidebook for us to get to our higher self. Even then, a lot of religious people live through the physical world, the physical reality. So if you're living through the physical world, the physical reality, you're only going to see it for what's there. So there's a realm here on earth with us, which is known as the spiritual realm, and we can't see it. There's things that happen that you can't explain. There's certain things that have happened in everyone's lives that they can't explain. Certain people just brush it off as nothing. But there's certain energies that we can't see. When you get electrocuted, sometimes you can't see you get electrocuted, but the electricity's there, the energy's there. It's the exact same thing. And when people's pineal gland is calcified, and when their brains are so messed up with all the chemicals, and they've been taking so much information from this physical world, that's truly when they're going to be at their lowest frequency. That's truly when they're going to be lost in life. That's truly when they're going to only be relying on the cheap dopamine that's set up in the system, which is really, really upsetting to see, because these people have just fell victims to the system, and they're not spiritually growing and they're not spiritually developing at all. And you're probably wondering, this may be your close friends, this may be your family members, what do you do about this? you want to be the example for them. You want to live your life in a way where if they see you living your life, they'll see you near so as a role model. Now, they may not admit they see you as a role model because of ego ways and the likes of that stuff. And usually the people closest to you are going to be the people who don't listen to you. A total stranger will listen to you more than the people closest to you will actually listen to you. So just be careful with that as well. Be careful of pushing not your ideas, because most likely they are right a lot of the time, especially when it comes to universal truth and spiritual truths. Just be careful of telling people the truth about different things, because they may have a negative reaction to it, especially if they know you on a personal level. They're not going to see you as great as other people would see you. So like, let's say for example someone made the NBA. Let's say for example someone made it professional in football. They're close people who've grown up with them since a kid. They're not going to see them as great because they've known them as a personal level. So if someone randomly just comes across you and they see the results, they're like, oh wow, this person is absolutely crazy, this person is insane, because they just see how you are now and they just see your results. They haven't seen you grow up as an individual. They haven't been with you spiritually as an individual from young. So that's why, just with the people closest to you in life, don't be offended or don't get too distraught if they don't accept the truth, especially from you, because they're not going to look at you as a Messiah. I always say this, that if Jesus actually, like in physical form, came back in the world today, he would be really hated. He'd probably be killed again and he would be targeted. So simply as well, there was a story about Jesus even in his hometown where no one in his hometown listened to him. No one in his hometown thought he was great. And the lesson you get from that story in the Bible is the people closest to you aren't always going to be the ones who listen to you. So it's all about you in life. This sounds really selfish, but when you're really selfish, you can actually be more selfless. You can actually help the people around you in life when you care about yourself first. So if you work on getting money for yourself first, then you can make other people's, your family's lives easier around you. If you're worried about them and them directly and you're not concentrating on yourself, you're not going to be helping anyone. So don't think it's selfish to look after your own energy. Don't think it's selfish to tell your mates that, oh, I'm not really going to go out this week, or I have this work to do, I have this work to do. If they have a negative reaction to that, maybe that's a good idea to just stop hanging around these people. Because lucky enough with my friends, when it comes to spirituality and the likes of that, they're actually very open to that stuff. And never in my life really have I been like, oh yeah, I'm working this week or I'm doing this week, and they have a negative reaction to that. That's why I'm careful about who I keep around me. And these people have been around me since I was younger, since I wasn't really as spiritually awake as I am now. But thankfully enough, they're pretty spiritually awake themselves. They know what's going on in the world. And there's a big mass divide spiritually in the world compared to people who are awake and people who are asleep. So you have the people who are awake to the point where the information, the truth actually sounds like crazy or near so like stupid, to the people who are so asleep. And you're struggling because you have no one to speak to about this with. You know all this truth, you know all this information about the world, and everyone around you in real life knows nothing about it, and you feel lonely. You feel spiritually lonely because you feel like no one else is on that same frequency as you. There's nothing wrong with spending time alone. Alone means all one with yourself. You should be happy to be with your own soul's energy. If anything, you're gifted with that time. You're gifted with that time alone or all one with yourself. You get given time to work on yourself. You get given time to develop skills in your life where you can make money, you can improve your health. You can actually decide what it is that you want to do. So if you're bored or you don't know what to do with your life, you should see this as a good thing. You have to realize that everything in the world is about perspective. Someone can see, two different people can see the same thing. One person can see it in a good way, one person can see it in a bad way. It's all got to do with perspective. So if you're a bit lost in life, you get to decide what you want to do with your life. You get to work in your passion, do something that you enjoy. You get to build something from the ground up. And I'm telling you that the journey is where the enjoyment is compared to you actually getting the results. You think your life's going to be great when you get the results, and you're going to be like, oh, well, that felt good for a few minutes, but now I just feel like it's normal. It's the journey that you're actually going to enjoy. Anyways, hopefully this video helps you out going through what you're going through in life now at the moment. I'm going to make more videos, of course, around spirituality and just this topic of what's going on in the world now at the moment. And again, if you just want to join my group, I do trading. I teach people trading. I let people copy my call outs. We teach self-improvement, mindset, spirituality, online business models. My business partner Nathan teaches. My VIP community is literally €20 a month, and the link for that is in the bio. And if you want to join my public group is there, and all other socials. Anyways, make sure you're looking after yourselves, make sure you're protecting your energy, keeping yourselves on a high frequency, and I'll see you in the next video.